Hello, my karmically connected friend. Imagine that our soul, as we enter our twilight years, is like a garden that has endured countless seasons of rain and sun. Now, what that garden needs most is tranquility to blossom and bear fruit, not storms. The Buddha once taught, happiness or suffering is largely chosen by our mind and the connections we form. At this stage of life, time is limited. We have the right and the responsibility to be selective about who is allowed to enter the garden of our soul. There is a painful truth that must be stated. Sometimes, the people closest to us are the source of the greatest unrest. Today, let's sit together to identify 5 types of people you need to keep at a distance, so that your old age can be complete and peaceful. Part 1. The manipulator. The first type of person, and also the most common one that makes our old age heavy, is the emotional manipulator. They could be anyone, a relative, a longtime friend, or sadly sometimes even our own children. Their identifying characteristic is their ability to exploit your kindness and vulnerability. They are masters at using guilt to control your behavior. Try to recall, has your phone ever rung just as you were lying down to rest after a long day? On the other end are complaints and requests for help. Initially, they are small things, watching the grandchildren for a bit, borrowing a small amount of money, solving a minor problem. But gradually, these requests increase, becoming more urgent and unreasonable. If you refuse, what will they say? Don't you love your parents me anymore? We've been friends for years and you can't help with this? How can you be so selfish, Grandma, Grandpa? These words are like needles pricking the compassion of older people. We fear being judged as heartless, fear offending, and so we strain ourselves to comply, even if our health and spirit are already depleted. But my dear friend, in Buddhism, compassion, to be, must go hand in hand with wisdom, tue. Compassion for others does not mean being cruel to yourself. The Buddha never taught us to sacrifice to the point of losing our inner peace. If helping someone consistently leaves you stressed, anxious, and exhausted, that is not kindness. That is attachment and a lack of boundaries. You need to understand that your exhaustion is not helping anyone. A candle that wants to light the way for others must first keep its own flame alive. So, what should we do? Practice mindfulness in these situations. When a request is made, don't agree reflexively. Stop, take a deep breath, and ask yourself, does this bring me peace or sow stress? If the answer is stress, learn to refuse gently but firmly. You don't need lengthy explanations, nor do you need to apologize for taking care of yourself. Try saying, I understand your difficulty, but right now my health doesn't allow it. I need to rest. Or, I value you very much, but this is beyond my capacity. Setting boundaries is not aloofness. It is a way to protect the dignity of old age. Remember, only when you love yourself do you teach others how to respect you. Part 2. The self-absorbed. The second type of person whose relationship we need to reconsider is the self-absorbed person. At this age, every wrinkle on our face holds a story, a hard-earned lesson. Old age is a vibrant treasure trove of experience. The soul's greatest need right now is not material possessions, but the need to be listened to, understood, and to share those golden memories. Yet, some people enter your life only to seek an audience. They talk endlessly about their lives, their troubles, their achievements. They monopolize the spotlight in every conversation. Whenever you try to mention your joint pain today, or the joy of your newly bloomed orchid, they immediately dismiss it or steer the conversation back to themselves. Next to them, you feel invisible. You feel that your words have no weight, and your emotions are insignificant. Over time, this lack of empathy will erode your self-esteem. You start to withdraw, feeling lonely even when sitting in a crowd. Buddhism teaches that interaction between people should be based on respect and deep listening, loving speech. A healthy relationship must be a two-way street, with giving and receiving. Practical advice for you: don't perpetually remain in the shadow of someone else's story. You deserve to be heard. Gently but firmly demand that right. When they interrupt, smile and say, "Wait a moment. I want to finish sharing this. It is very important to me." If they continue to ignore you, ask yourself if this relationship is nourishing your soul or just draining your energy. Spend your precious time with those who cherish your life story, those who look into your eyes when you speak, nod empathetically, and ask kindly. These are the true companions of old age. Part 3. The critic and judge. The third type of person that is extremely toxic to the tranquility of old age is the critic and judge. They often wear the cloak of concern. They start with phrases like, "I'm only telling you this for your own good," or honestly, a little advice. But behind that are sharp, pointed criticisms. They judge the way you dress, the way you spend money, the way you raise your grandchildren, even your hobbies in retirement. Their words are like cold drops of water. Continually dripping, they can wear away even a rock. They sow self-doubt in your heart. You start to worry. Am I doing something wrong? Am I becoming senile? Simple joy in life is suddenly replaced by apprehension. The Buddha has a wonderful story about a gift. When someone hurled insults at him, he asked, "If you bring a gift to offer me, and I do not accept it, to whom does the gift belong?" The other person replied, "It belongs to me." He taught, "Likewise, your insults and criticisms I do not accept. Please keep them." Application to life. At this age, you have lived long enough to know what is right for you. You don't need to live according to the standards or satisfaction of anyone else. Self-confidence and self-satisfaction are your strongest shields. When encountering a critic, do not argue, and do not let their words enter your mind. Smile with compassion, the smile of one who has understood the ways of the world. You can gently reply, "Thank you for your input, but I am content and happy with my current choices." If they continue to cause harm, create distance. Protect your joy as you would protect the flowers in your garden from pests. You deserve to live your final days in encouragement and love, not in scrutiny. Part 4. The irresponsible. The fourth type of person, a burden that many of us elderly Asians often carry, is the attachment to the irresponsible person. These are often relatives or children who are not emotionally mature. They live dependent lives, constantly create problems, and always expect you to step in and clean up the consequences. Today they are in debt. Tomorrow they are unemployed. The day after they have a broken marriage. And the first place they run for help is you, the family's pillar. Out of love, we often empty our retirement savings, exhausting our energy to rescue them. We think this is sacrifice, that it is noble. But look deeply into the law of karma according to the Buddha's teachings. Everyone comes to this life with their own lessons, their own karmic consequences, that they must bear and transform themselves. When you constantly do things for them, or suffer the consequences in their place, you are unintentionally stealing their opportunity to mature. You are interfering with their karmic journey. That blind help does not make them stronger. It only makes them weaker and more dependent. And what is the consequence for you? It is exhaustion. Financial depletion makes old age precarious. Energetic depletion keeps your mind in a state of anxiety and fear. Shifting perception. Compassion is not bearing the burden for them, but illuminating the way. Shift from doing it for them to suggesting and motivating. Be brave and say, I believe you have enough strength to overcome this. I will support you emotionally, but you are the one who must solve your own problem. Or, I am not in a position to resolve that for you. Letting go so they can walk on their own is sometimes the deepest form of love. Returning responsibility to its owner is also how you return peace to yourself. Part 5. The Ungrateful. Finally, the fifth type of person to avoid to safeguard your joy in life is the ungrateful. Old age is often associated with the need to give, to contribute. We want to help our children, grandchildren, neighbors, and community. Giving brings happiness. But if that giving falls into a bottomless well, with no echo in return, won't you be heartbroken? Some people see your help as something they are entitled to. You cook, they criticize. You care for them, they frown. You give a gift, they don't cherish it. Prolonged exposure to this ungrateful energy will cool your heart. You will gradually lose faith in kindness and feel that your life is meaningless. Kindness is a precious asset, a blessed energy. Don't misplace it. The Buddha taught about sowing seeds in good soil. Seeds of kindness sown in the soil of gratitude will bloom into fragrant flowers and sweet fruit. Sowing them in the dry, rocky soil of ingratitude only wastes the seeds. Changing actions. Direct your attention and energy to places and people who appreciate its value. This could be long-time intimate friends, community volunteer activities, or simply caring for pets and plants. When you give and receive a grateful look or a radiant smile in return, you will feel useful and spiritually wealthy. Don't let the ungrateful extinguish your passionate flame. Just take that flame to the right place where it needs to be warmed. My dear friend, life is a long journey of refinement. In youth, we may be broadly social, but old age is all about subtlety and depth. Peace is not something that can be bought with money. It comes from the courage to let go of unhealthy connections and the cultivation of strong inner values. Protecting your soul's garden from being overrun by weeds is the most important task right now. Live the most brilliant days of your life's autumn, alongside the people who truly appreciate and love you. If you found these sharings helpful, please leave a comment, Tom on, peaceful mind, below, so we can amplify this positive energy. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel to continue listening to the next healing lessons. May you always have peace in body and mind. Goodbye, and I hope to see you again.